right, as always, it's a pleasure to have you join us on TV47 Weekend Edition and by extension, Her Say. My name is Linda Alela, and tonight on Her Say, we'll be speaking to the daughter of Dedan Kimathi, Mbura Kimathi, a conversation that you certainly do not want to miss out on, just reminiscing on the good old days as well as the bad ones during those times when the father was in the bush trying to fight for freedom for the people of Kenya. A conversation that, takes us back to history and as well reminds us of the importance of appreciating what our forefathers did. Please be look forward to that conversation later on, but it's also important that you are aware of what is happening where you are and beyond. And so we get straight to this conversation, appreciating the lady who will be on the sign language interpreter's desk, that is Rhoda Nyamai, and my name is Linda Alela. We'll be taking you through that here at the highlights. Tonight, panic and fear on the rise after a suspected Mpox case was reported in Thika, Kambu County. And President hints at the return of the finance bill, a move which could be made worse with the lack of a defined opposition.
Na mimi sasa nimetii amri.
We shine the spotlight on the growing phenomenon of young learners ditching the classroom to engage in fishing in Lake Naivasha.
Akiingia kwa ziwa azoe ile maisha ya kuvua, utapata hata amekataa shule. So maisha yake yote utapata amezoea mambo ya bahari, so mambo na shule atakataa.
And the weekend edition of TV47 begins right away, just a day after the Ministry of Health declared that Kenya is yet to confirm another case of Mpox. A twist has emerged after a suspected Mpox case was on Saturday reported from Kenol, Murang'a County. The suspected case is currently on quarantine, awaiting lab results, as Elizabeth Atieno details.
The county government of Kambu has lifted the lead over a suspected case of Mpox in the county. The suspected case is from a 21-year-old lady working in an avocado exporting factory in Kenol, Murang'a County. The suspected case has been in contact with customers and drivers from Uganda, Tanzania, Bungoma, Sondu Miriu, and Nandi Hills who bring fruits to the factory. Swab samples have been collected and will be delivered to the National Public Health Laboratory Services for analysis. Kambu County government has however maintained that there is no need for alarm, as the Department of Health Services has activated all necessary measures to ensure the Ministry of Health is expected to issue a statement on the matter, not forgetting that on Friday this week, the Health Ministry maintained that there was no confirmed Mpox case. Kenya first detected an Mpox case on the 29th of July 2024 from a truck driver at Taveta 1 stop border point. On the 6th of August 2024, the Ministry of Health announced that the patient has since been healed. In the African continent, cases of Mpox have been reported in the countries of Burundi, Liberia, Ghana, Rwanda, Uganda, DRC, and Kenya. Cases of Mpox have also been detected in Sweden and Pakistan just 2 days after the World Health Organization declared a global health emergency.
We need to understand the transmission patterns. We need to understand the populations that are risked, and it's dynamic. There are multiple outbreaks that are happening.
Elizabeth Atieno, TV47.
Well, a constant reminder that you are supposed to be careful. Now, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has made remarks highlighting the anticipated intensity of the 2027 general elections, suggesting that by December 2024, the political landscape will become clearer regarding who might retain their positions and who might not. And speaking in Juja, Kambu County during a wedding ceremony, the Deputy President also addressed accusations of tribalism, asserting his respect of all Kenyans. Juja Member of Parliament George Kiwemburi defended him against all calls for impeachment, pledging continued support.
But what I know is that watu wetu wamerefuka sana. People are very intelligent. Naweza kuona watu wamenyamaza. Unafikiria tu wako tu pale, hakuna kitu wanajua. Unawadanganya, wanakuangalia tu. They don't say anything. Especially hii watu ya hii mlima Kenya. Kama wataki wewe unajua wasemi. They just keep quiet. Ukiona hii watu ya mlima Kenya wamenyamaza na hawaongei, hawakupigii kelele, hawasemi wewe kwenda, wamenyamaza tu, wewe ujue mambo yako imefanya nini? But when you hear they are making noise, wagali wako na hope that unaweza rekebisha maneno.
Kwa hivyo wale ambao wanasema mambo ya impeachment waambiwe wao ndio wataenda nyumbani, lakini serikali ya William Ruto na deputy wake Rigiji iko imara, na sisi tutasimamia haki ya wananchi hao wa Kenya.
Nashukuru kwa sababu vijana siku hizi wametulia. Sasa hawana vita kali. Mpaka wamefanya sisi tukapeleka kwa DCI huko. Tukisemekana ati sisi ndio tuna wafadi wafanya maneno. Tukisemekana sisi ndio tuna mobilize. Nilisikia mbunge mwingine akisema ati hapa Juja ndio kulitoka vijana wengi. Lakini nashangaa alikuwa ameketi wapi? Na alikuwa akipima darubini wapi akichukua hiyo kamera kwamba watu wanatoka Juja.
All right, and of course, to more on the mpox case in the country and in Kisii, public health practitioners are on high alert as they investigate an incident where a woman recorded a suspected case of mpox at a clinic in the area. And according to Kisii County Public Health Emergency Operations Center, a woman aged 50 on a Thursday evening reported to Dolab's clinic in Mutonto, Bobasi sub-county, showing suspected signs of the viral disease that has been declared a global health emergency by the World Health Organization. Kisii County Director of Public Health, that is Richard Onkware, said the woman comes from Nyamonde village of Bomachoge, Chache, that is sub-county, and has since been advised to self-quarantine at home till laboratory results shall be available. The patient, now at home on supportive management, is a businesswoman who travels in the Nyanza region's markets. According to the county health officials, she had no history of contact with a person who had traveled outside the country, but she was recently visited by a partner who lives in Nairobi. All right, and as I have said, we are constantly reminded that at this very point you need to stay safe. Of course, keep that social distance as they have highlighted, and as well just be cautious of the people you get to interact with. If you have to stay at home, please stay at home. If you are in contact with individuals, just make sure that you're on alert of course, of the people that you're in contact with. If there's a person that is coming to visit you and perhaps traveling from abroad, it's equally important that they seek medical, guidance before it gets to this point. But of importance, if you're exhibiting any form of signs, you are advised to get to the hospital or, as well, seek health guidance or the same to avoid the spread of this. Remember, these cases, as we have highlighted, have been, of course, spotted in different parts of East Africa, and therefore as well reported cases right here in the country. And of course, the World Health Organization constantly reminds warns you that you must be careful. Away from it, and President William Ruto has announced the reintroduction of the Finance Bill 2024, which he withdrew after countrywide protests in June. And the president, who spoke in Kakamega County on Saturday, said that government projects have stalled due to lack of funds rallying members of parliament, that is to support the new finance bill. The ODM has said it will reject any punitive bill that is brought to parliament.
In a dilemma on how to finance his administration's projects after the fall of the Finance Bill 2024 due to the June Gen Z protests that culminated with the invasion of Parliament, President William Ruto, while on a working tour of Kakamega County, told his supermajority parliament to brace for a new version of the Finance Bill to help him fulfill his development agenda.
Mabarabara zikakwama kwa sababu ya mambo ya pesa. Tulikuwa tumepanga mpango mzuri. Tulikuwa tumeweka bilioni 130 kwa budget. Lakini mnajua hiyo budget ilienda segemnege. Mnaelewa hivyo? Kuna watu walipigia kelele mpaka hiyo budget ikapotea. Sasa mimi nimeambia Malulu hapa na wabunge wenzetu, si ndio? Tutaenda tupange tena.
Na mimi sasa nimetii amri. Saa ile alisema nifike hapa saa 3, nilikuwa hapa hata kadhaa kufika saa 3. Mimi natii. Siasa nimewachia wakina Malulu. Watu wa Kakamega wamekubali tuungane na wewe, tusaidie wewe ujenge nchi yetu ya Kenya. Na hizi wiki moja nimekuwa kwa serikali, nimeona hii serikali imefanya mambo mengi. Unajua mimi nilikuwa hapo nje. Sikujua ile iko ndani.
The reintroduction of the bill in Parliament will seemingly be a walkover for President Ruto after the formation of the broad-based government due to the inclusion of ODM MPs in cabinet.
Mimi nauliza nyinyi, ukienda kupanga ile maneno, uzae mtoto, na mtoto huyo apate shida, hakuwa hai, wewe una give up? Si unarudi tena kwa kitanda kupanga maneno? Ama mnasemaje? Sasa tutarudi pale tena kwa kitanda.
ODM Deputy Party Leader Godfrey Osotsi in a statement says, and I quote, ODM will handle bills on a case-by-case basis, bills which have merits and have positive effect on our Kenyans. We as ODM will support them. Those that are punitive, we will reject them. End of quote. A section of ODM MPs led by Embakasi East MP Babu Owino and Migori Senator Eddie Okech have said Ruto's dalliance with ODM will not stop them from exercising their oversight mandate as the opposition, despite the new supermajority threat.
That ODM, despite the fact that we've given our people to be in government, we as ODM are going to remain committed to make sure that Parliament of Kenya is effective to play its role to oversight the executive.
In Parliament, there was already a supermajority that passed the finance bill. But that did not prevent the Gen Zs. It did not prevent Ruto from coming out and rejecting after pressure had been pressed on him.
National Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Badi on Monday announced a return of the progressive provisions of the Finance Bill 2024, while ruling out the possibility of returning the rejected Finance Bill 2024. Apul Kamau, TV47.
All right, Nyeri Archdiocese Archbishop Anthony Muheria has called on the government and those in authority to respect and fulfill what Gen Zs were asking during their demos. And speaking in Wamagana town in Nyeri County during an annual Catholic youth service, Muheria said that among many things, corruption and integrity of those in leadership needs to be addressed. He urged the youth not to fear or get tired of calling out such vices, which he said may destabilize the country. And thousands of young people attended the event, which ended with a 10,000 kilometers walk from Wamagana to Nyeri town.
Young people are have been trying to tell us. And here they are out here in faith saying, we desire to bring this goodness to this nation and to our church. So I want to take this advantage of this moment to thank all these young people here present and to tell them they must sustain their hope and should not lose any hope in terms of the desires we have. But that hope must be channeled in a nice way, in the way of love, in the way of service, and in the way of building our interior muscles so that we too do not also become broken because of money, wealth, or other things. A lot of young people in the last months have suffered. A lot of them have suffered harassment, difficulties, even some have lost their lives. We use this opportunity to send our condolences. We want to show our solidarity. All these young people are showing the love, but with action, not with hatred. We have committed, and these young people have. They are not committed to ways of hatred. They are committed to ways of love, but ways that move mountains, because love and faith does. And so we are asking all those in authority to give respect to every single life, and especially to give respect even to the young people. Perhaps they are not as experienced, but that doesn't mean they don't have a good thing to contribute to us.
More in politics, President William Ruto has once again defended his decision to incorporate members of the opposition in his government, saying it is the best bet for the country. This emerged during his tour of the Western Kenya region, where the latest regional tour of the president in his charm offensive, that is to pacify the country after a wave of anti-government protests.
President William Ruto began his tour in the Western Kenya region in Kakamega County, the home turf of his Cooperatives Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Oparanya.
Bado watu wengi hawajafikiwa na maji vile vile. Tuko na mpango mkubwa ya mambo ya maji.
Here, the president, who was also accompanied by other members of his new cabinet, continued with what many see as popularization drive of his new team, which he has reiterated that it is the team that will take Kenya to the next level. The president used the tour to lead groundbreaking ceremony for Malava Cluster Water Project in Namanja, Kakamega County.
Program hii itatukarimu karibu shilingi bilioni 2 ya kusukuma hiyo maji. Awamu ya kwanza ya milioni 500 ndio tumeanzisha. Nimekubaliana na waziri na wale wanahusika ya kwamba tuharakishe kabla ya Disemba, tuhakikishe ya kwamba the other phases will be rolling so that we can connect water to as many citizens in Kakamega County as we are doing in the rest of the Republic of Kenya.
Ruto noted that the project has a daily supply capacity of 1.2 million liters a day and will serve more than 100,000 people in different regions. The areas to be served include Chemche, East Kabras, South Kabras, Shirugu Muigai, Butali, Chegulo, and Manda Shivanga. Area leaders used the platform to call for unity that they say will strengthen their bargaining power ahead of 2027 elections.
Na hizi wiki moja nimekuwa kwa serikali, nimeona hii serikali imefanya mambo mengi. Unajua mimi nilikuwa hapo nje, sikujua ile iko ndani. Rais, na kuomba wale tulikuwa tunaenda huku na huku tukiongea mambo, sasa utuachie tufanye tu na wewe.
Serikali kubwa ama serikali ya uhusiano, broad based government, kutuletea Wycliffe Oparanya. Oparanya wakiungana na Barasa, sisi tunajua maendeleo makubwa itaonekana katika hii kaunti.
Sasa ni wakati wa maendeleo, sio wakati wa siasa. Watu ambao wanaanza siasa mapema wapatiane muda ili tufanye maendeleo. Sasa tufanye kazi, ikifika 2027 tutajipanga. Hii mambo ya maji isiongo yali ni kuiranga. Unapata wamama wetu wanatabika sana. Vile umechukua baba yetu Wycliffe Ambesa Oparanya, sisi sote tumealign.
Before that, the president launched the Nandi Hills Water Project in Kabsebwa, Nandi Hills constituency. This is the latest regional tour of the president in his charm offensive to pacify the country after a wave of anti-government protests. The Western tour comes days after Ruto concluded his 3 days tour of the Gusii region. He is expected to move to Luo Nyanza, the opposition leader Raila Odinga's backyard, in the coming days. Reporting for TV47, I'm Violet Auma.
Thank you, Violet, for that. Mr. Politician will always be Mr. Politician. Now, look at this. Nairobi residents prone to indulging in bad habits such as urinating in the streets and littering found themselves in trouble on Friday night as the city's enforcement units launched a crackdown against these behaviors within the central business district.
The turn of events caught many offenders by surprise, with one man arrested while urinating against a wall, trying to shield himself, unaware that Nairobi County officials were lurking behind him. One man was captured trying to get away, but county officials arrested him and immediately escorted him to the county inspectorate van. Another man in the open street with nothing to shield him had just finished his call of nature. He too was blissfully ignorant of what awaits him and soon found himself in the hands of county law enforcement officials under arrest. Street vendors were on the receiving end of the enforcement unit's effort to check, if not stop, the habit altogether, with vendors forced to collect litter around their premises and dump them appropriately. Public Nuisance Act of 2021, one risks being slammed with a 10,000 shillings fine, a jail term of 6 months, or both for urinating or defecating a public place. Samira Mohammed for TV47.
Wow, interesting. Now, a somber mood has engulfed Nabwana village in Kimilili constituency, Bungoma County, after a middle-aged man allegedly killed his wife due to a family dispute. And as Wanji Sustin reports, Peter Situma, a boda rider in Kimilili town, has not been in good terms with his wife, Belinda Wanjala, for a long period of time, despite intervention from the family members.
Friday night was the last breath for Brenda Wanjala after his husband Peter Situma allegedly killed her before escaping. According to family members, the two have had differences for a while and their efforts to solve their dispute more than once failed.
Huyu kijana amekuwa akisumbua mtoto several time, tukiwa tunawakalisha kesi. Mwenyewe mtoto akikuja, akimfukuza, akikuja nyumbani, anachukua hatua ya kuja tena kumchukua. Juzi wakati walisosana, alifukuza mtoto akaja nyumbani. After mtoto kuja nyumbani alikaa akatulia, mwenyewe akamfuata tena.
Huyu kijana kweli alikuwa akisosana na msichana, na mimi kama babu ya msichana nilikuwa nikiwarudisha pamoja. Lakini nimestechika sana.
The residents have condemned the heinous action, urging the responsible agencies to beef up investigation and bring the perpetrator on book, stating that the man has been on record in criminal activities.
Kweli nimeshangaa sana na nitaomba hivi. Mimi naomba serikali yetu, maaskari wenye wako Kimilili, wafanye nini? Waamuke chini wapate huyu kijana, kwa sababu hata angewacha tu huyo mtoto, hata angemfukuza aende karibu kwa chami yao Lutonye hapa.
Huyu mchombo yangu alianza zamani hii tabia. Hajulikani saa hii, alianza zamani sana. Vile nilimulea. Kwa hivyo, Kitendo hiki mtoto amefanya ni kibaya sana.
Confirming the incident, Kimilili OCPD Victor Nzaka Mwitu has called upon boda operators and citizens to help the police in arresting the suspect.
Huyu kijana Peter Stuma mwenye aliua mke wake ni bodaboda rider hapa Kimilili. Tunaomba bodaboda riders wote tafadhali, na tunaomba kwa sauti mtusaidie, na members of the public tafadhali mtusaidie huyu kijana aweze kupatikana.
Wanji Sostin, TV47, Bungoma.
For decades now, bandits have continued to wreak havoc across the North Rift region, leaving thousands of families displaced and many losing their lives. Despite efforts to restore normalcy in the vast area, the terror caused by ruthless bandits has had a negative mental effect on most locals who are now grappling with fear and despair. But as our reporter Arnold Didi tells us, there could be light at the end of the tunnel as various institutions have swung into action to provide psychological support to their residents.
West Pokot, Baringo, Turkana and Elgeyo Marakwet counties have become the face of banditry, a criminal offense that has led to loss of lives and displacement of many families in the North Rift. Beneath this beautiful terrain lies stories of fear and largely despair, which has left most locals traumatized. Jennifer Koimur is one of the locals who bear the brunt of banditry.
Hii kitu ilianza tangu 2007 mpaka wakati tunaendelea kupata hiyo shida. Tunahama na kurudi. Na hii ilikuwa worst ya kisasa. Hatukurudi sasa, hata wale wengine hata hawajafikisha kwao. Tungali tuko msituni. Na hii ina shida mingi sana. Ita-affect watoto sababu hawatapata masomo kama wale wengine. Hao watakuja kuteseka zaidi. Kama sisi tumeteseka, hatutaki sasa watoto wetu wakuje waendelee kuteseka tena.
Considering the way banditry has affected locals here, various organizations in collaboration with religious groups have rolled out psychosocial support trainings targeting residents, hoping to help the victims resume their normal lives.
Tusipoweza kusikiza ni nini wanapitia, hatutawasaidia. Itakuwa tu ni ile hali tu mtu akipata opportunity anaenda kufanya revenge kwa sababu achapona kwa roho yake.
Na vile tumekuja kuwasikiza na hao watu akaanza kufungua roho, tulistuka sana. Maanake mtu huwezi kumuona, unamuona ako na afya, anatembea, lakini baada ya kumpatia fursa aweze kuyanena yale yako moyoni mwake, utastuka zaidi because atakupatia habari ya yale anapitia na yale yanamsumbua katika akili yake. Mara anasema anastuka, mara akiona mtu kama anapita anaona ni huyu anataka kumuua, mpaka kuna wakati mpaka anaogopa mpaka kivuli chake.
Gladys Mogare, a coordinator of governance and peace advocacy, emphasizes on the need for multi-sectoral approach in helping the North Rift regain stability.
So these men, majority of them when we are holding meetings, we find them they're breaking down, they're crying because they have been left as beggars. They have nothing. First of all, to call home, they have also nothing to take care of their families. We meet women who have lost children, husbands, and they are highly traumatized. So we selected these few members to come for the training on psychosocial support.
As these efforts continue for victims like Jennifer Koimur, all they hope for is that one day peace will be restored in the vast North Rift and that they will be proud to call this place home again. Arnold Adidi, TV47.
Well, beautiful piece by Arnold, and we'll be having an extensive one tomorrow, as well as a conversation revolving around the bandit situation and the efforts for peace. That is tomorrow on To The Point, 9 p.m. Make sure you do not miss out on that. Now, Alan Waitungu has emerged the winner of the Radio 47 Talent Search competition. Alan beat 3 other finalists to scoop the top slot in the competitive research or search for the reporters at the station, or as the station makes good its promise to provide unparalleled news content for its listeners countrywide. Alan has been awarded with a contract to work with a station in Nakuru County, with the other finalists getting cash prizes. Head of Radio 47 Geoffrey Mungu says that this is just a beginning, with the competition set to continue soon as the station continues to inform, educate and entertain their fans across the country.
After a long wait and stiff competition from different reporters in Nakuru County, Alan Waitongo, a student from Arizona International School, has emerged the winner of TV47 Talent Search.
I am Alan Waitongo. I am the winner of the contest that has been there of searching for the talent of a reporter in Nakuru County.
Alan, who will now be working as a reporter of Radio 47 based in Nakuru County, said it was a dream come true, but his dedication and hard work helped him emerge victorious.
Those who will participate in the contest in other counties, I want to assure you that anything that you put into that talent will not go in vain.
Further, Radio 47 head Geoffrey Mungu congratulated him and the other competitors, stating that this was just the beginning as the competition is set to resume soon.
Shughuli ambayo imekuwa ikiendelea kwa muda wa kama mwezi moja hivi, imekuwa ni shughuli ya kumteua ripota wa haiba wa kaunti ya Nakuru, na mchakato wenyewe umekamilika, ambapo walikuwa wakishiriki kwa kutuma sauti zao.
Alan and his competitors' victory fulfills the station's commitment to delivering unparalleled news content nationwide, as the radio station aims to continue educating, entertaining, and informing its fans across the country. Jane Minor for TV47, Nairobi.
Congratulations to Arnold as he embarks on this incredible journey. That is, of course, as he shapes his career. And now we take a quick short break from that beautiful note. We still have lots lined up for you, including that interview with the daughter of the fallen soldier, that is Dedan Kimathi, after this break.
Hey there friends, welcome to Kids on the Block, where fun and imagination come alive. We dive into magical world filled with exciting adventures and awesome friends.
What position were you in?
I was number 2.
What position were you?
Number 1.
He decided to cross the bridge by his house and look for food on the other side.
We're going to do half cup of chocolate chips, and the other one, we're going to do half cup of the blueberries.
So, grab your imagination hats and get ready to explore with us. Join us every Saturday at 9 a.m. for new friends, amazing stories, and tons of laughter.
Join us as we explore the journeys of those who defy the odds and break barriers. We dive deep into the stories of triumph.
Sometimes when parenting a child with a special need or whatever disability,
family life becomes a bit complicated and you may end up raising the child on your own.
Here, we inspire.
I have a farm which one we showcase with other dyslexic youths and autism, how to farm.
Motivate.
It's never easy, but what we do, the best thing is to work with another parent who has an elder child than yours.
And break through the barriers one story at a time. Push your boundaries beyond the limit. Saturdays at 8 p.m. The Grind, where business meets brilliance. It's not just about the ideas.
I was working as a shampoo boy. I used to wash clients' hair on the sink.
It's about making them happen. From big wins.
In primary school, when we would be asked what people want to be, I was categorical that I want to be a nurse.
To hard lessons.
The consoles change, the gaming equipment keep changing.
Of this six-rounder.
Welcome back to TV47 Weekend Edition, and we now get to some more stories where tonight we shine the spotlight on the growing phenomenon of young learners, some as young as primary school, ditching the classroom, that is to engage in fishing in Lake Naivasha. The vice, which is not perpetuated in broad daylight, is said to be caused by the increasing poverty levels, as Willie Dennis Jero details.
Beauty, serenity befitting nature's splendor of one of Kenya's largest freshwater lakes, jam-packed with economic activities that for decades adds over 10% of the GDP. Top on the list is the floriculture, hospitality and fishing industries. With depths of close to 30 meters and over 140 kilometers circumference, there are 4 landing beaches around the lake, with tens of boats that sustain a great fraction to the fishing and tourism industries.
Wenye wanauza samaki wako na shida na kwamba samaki haifiki ile kiwango inatakikana ndio waweze kuaccess masoko na waweze kupata pesa.
Hii beach yetu tupate corridor ambayo ni permanent, ambayo county government inaweza weka rami tupate yao customer wakikuja direct.
However, tracked with this ecosystem, clearly crucial to the livelihoods of the area residents, lies a menace that threatens the very existence of the future generation.
Saa hii mashamba mingi ilifungwa ya maua. Kwa hivyo wale watu walikuwa wanafanya kazi kwa maua wameweza kuoccupy zile spaces, zile njia tuko tunaingia baharini. Wanaingililia huko ndio wanaenda kuvua hizi samaki huko undersize.
The challenge that we are facing, you find wale wazazi wakienda pale kwa maua, wale watoto, ule mshahara ambao wale wazazi wanapata ni mdogo sana. So unapata mtoto amefukuziwa school fees.
Reports arrive on an influx of school dropouts, some from primary school who have ditched the classroom to eke a living through fishing.
Hata kama watoto wamekataa shule hawakuji hapa, wanaenda kupitia huko kando mahali penye wajulika.
Unapata yule mtoto akiingia kwa ziwa azoe ile maisha ya kuvua, utapata hata amekataa shule. So maisha yake yote utapata amezoea mambo ya bahari, so mambo na shule atakataa.
According to data from the Ministry of Education, most affected are students living in the informal settlements around the troubled water body.
Sawa ni kule ameenda shule, mtu mpata kiamsha kinywa. But the end ikifika saa 7 lazima kule lunch. Inabidi mwanafunzi anainama, lunch inapita.
Watoto wengi wanakataa shule, eti wanakuja correct. Si kukataa. Pengine huyo mtoto hana mzazi. Hana mtu wa kumpea chakula. Ataenda wapi na resource ya kutafuta chakula atajua ni wapi?
The visible lacuna of the demand for the delicacy has offered an economic opportunity for the dropouts to venture into the fishing sector. though not at the landing beaches but at undisclosed locations.
Tumejaribu kuhakikisha hakuna mtoto anakanyanga kwa ile area yenye tunafanyia kazi. Ama hakuna watoto wanafanya kazi katika beaches.
Our sources tell that the situation is getting worse as the country faces uncertain economic times ahead.
Inakuwa one way drop out. Reason being, utaenda shule ukiwa njaa. At the end of the day unapata mamako ni mzazi mwenyewe pia ni jobless. Ameenda mtafuta kibarua amekosa amerudi.
Kwa sababu ya kutokuwa active kwa hii beach, utapata the fingerlings ambazo zimewekwa pale wakati samaki wamekomaa. Alafu kuna wale ni waite tu waizi wanakuja usiku wana harvest.
The water body is under the county government by law, with a little input that they blame is a hand to the fund kitty by the national government.
Utapata ya kwamba the revenue allocation ambayo inatoka kwa hili ziwa, unapata watu wa national government wanakuja kuchukua. Lakini sisi kama watu wa ugatuzi, ziwa ni letu, so hapo that is one of the challenge ambayo hatujaelewa what is happening.
Wakiweza kuweka chakula kwa shule, mtoto hatatoka shule. Atakuwa anatoka nyumbani akiendea chakula shule. Kwa vile shule kuna chakula, nyumbani hakuna chakula.
Lake Naivasha is an economic mainstay, and with a myriad of challenges still facing it, much is yet to be achieved by the county government of Nakuru. Reporting for TV47 at the shores of Lake Naivasha at Tarambete Beach, I'm Willie Dennis Njiru.
Sports news brought to you by Maybets. Join Maybets leo upate free bet papo hapo. Fanya hivi, chagua home team to win, yani number 1 au draw X au away team 2 kwa game ya siku ya free bet. Weka namba yako ya simu, weka password ya account yako. Chagua submit free bet. Utapata free bet kwa account yako ya Maybets. Usisahau kuverify account yako. Kama hutakuwa verified, utapoteza free bet yako after 2 days. Betting is strictly for 18 years and over. Play responsibly. Terms and conditions apply. BCLB number 000578.
Maybet na minia na najishindia. Pesa inavutia, pesa inavutia.
Now, Kenya Police FC will host Coffee Sports of Ethiopia in the CAF Confederations Cup tie. That is at Nyayo National Stadium on Sunday afternoon. Coach Salim Babu's team secured a place in the continental competition after clinching the FKF Cup title. The Dubans will later travel to Ethiopia on the 25th of this month for the second leg of the preliminary round, and the aggregate winner from both legs will advance to the second preliminary round.
Mashabiki waje kwa wengi kwa sababu pia watakuja kuenjoy kulingana ile timu pia tunacheza nao sio wabaya, so opponent pia kwa wazuri, so pia sisi lazima tukue wazuri kuwashinda kwa sababu tuko nyumbani, so mashabiki wakuja kwa wingi wataona ushindi, sisi watakuja kuona draw ama kulose, tunataka kushinda kesho.
Wachezaji wengi wamecheza kwa hiyo stage, ukiangalia national team, kwa clubs pia wame represent clubs zao tofauti, so ni experience poa pia kwa wachezaji na pia kwa club, kwa sababu ni first time kwa Kenya Police kucheza kwa big stage, so I hope everything will go well.
All right, defending champions Kenya Commercial Bank RFC are through to the quarterfinals of the Dala Sevens taking place at Jomo Kenyatta Stadium, Mamboleo in Kisumu County. KCB registered a 24-0 thumping of Black Blood before putting Homeboys to the sword with a 38-5 scoreline. KCB coach Andrew Amonde are without the services of star player Vincent